Okay. I've broken down backyard birds into different categories. Okay. There are birds that may be in your background throughout the year, things like cardinals and blue jays. There may be birds that you see in or around or above your backyard just in the spring and the summer because they just breed here during the spring and summer and then they go elsewhere in the fall and winter. There may be some birds in your backyard that are just coming through during migration, during the spring, during the fall. Some of those that migrate through will stay for the entire winter. Just a small percentage of the number of birds that are migrating through Florida actually stay for the winter. Not all species do that. There's a small subset of migrant and winter visitors called eruptive birds that they don't come every year. The only time that they ever show up here is if food is not available further north for them, and they're forced down here. Finally, Miami is famous for exotic birds. We have all sorts of parrots and bulbuls and orioles and miners and all kinds of crazy things that have been released here, have shown up here, and are now breeding here. So we'll talk about that as well. Now, do any of you live on or near the water? Because if you live on or near the water, you can add some of these birds to your list of things that you may see in your backyard. If you live on a canal, if you live along the beach, or there's a lake in your backyard, you may see ducks, you may see water birds like anhingas, you may see all sorts of herons. That's a great blue heron that's up there. Members of the rail family, like that common gallinule, used to be called common moorhen, now it's called common gallinule. If you live near the ocean, you may see things like pelicans or shorebirds. That's a ruddy turnstone, that particular shorebird. Or terns, that's a black skimmer, which is a kind of tern. Or gulls, that's a laughing gull, which is our most common gull here in the Miami area. Probably the most common water bird that people are now seeing in their backyard is this bird. Everyone knows what this is? It's a white ibis, okay? Obviously the one on the left is a white ibis. That's an adult white ibis. You identify it by its white body, red legs, red curved bill. The one on the right is an immature bird, and that sometimes confuses people because how can a white ibis not be white? Well, when it's immature, when it's a young bird, that's what it looks like. So it still has the red curved bill, still has the red legs, just doesn't have the white feathering on the body. But this particular bird is becoming much more commonplace in people's backyards in the last 10, 20 years. Used to be that you had to go to Everglades National Park. You had to go to true Everglades wetland areas to see this bird. But this bird seems to be one of those species that is becoming very urbanized. They're getting used to people, and they're being fed by people. I got an email about a year ago from someone saying, my neighbors are feeding the white ibis turkey sandwiches. Is that okay? And I said, well, not really. People food is not good for any bird, so try to avoid feeding them turkey sandwiches. They can find their own food. These birds they eat crustaceans, crayfish, frogs, things like that, and they're perfectly capable of fighting themselves.
We've had a flock of 20 of them out on the front lawn here.
Really? Okay, so they're everywhere now. And by the way, that is the mascot of the University of Miami. So that's what it really looks like. It doesn't really look like Sebastian.